Hello, my independent business supporting peeps. This is Kat, aka Kakibot, and today I am bringing you yet another roundup of newly opened shops, cafes, pubs, restaurants here in Edinburgh. We are starting in this beautiful place, which is called Green, with a full stop, and it is on Elm Row, which is kind of the top of Leith Walk, and you might find them or the name quite familiar because they have another shop next to the meadows, just as beautiful. But if you are a plant parent or even just a plant fan, you should definitely stop by here because the choice is amazing. And even if you're traveling from a different country and you are not legally allowed to bring any plant babies, you can at least get like a really nice planter. I was just in the back room and some of the planters, like they are so cute, like they are little like monster planters. Get one of those. That one is even like, it's like crochet so it's going to be very light for your little hand luggage if that's what you need. Also, there is like a little soil pick and mix, which I've never seen before. So if you pick up a planty here, they will help you put together like the perfect soil mix for it so it doesn't die like all of my plants usually do. Anyway, let's have a look what this shop looks like. I will prove to you how cute it is. So, if you made it all the way to the top of Leith Walk, then there are two more places that I want to recommend to you that are on my list of newly opened spots here in Edinburgh. One of them is called the Triple Tree, or maybe Triple Try, and that's a coffee shop on York Place. That used to be the end stop of the tram. Nowadays it's not open for tram users, so you will have to get off on St Andrew Square and then walk onto York Place, but it's hidden there, it's kind of tucked away. It used to be a hairdresser's, and that's the funniest thing, like when you enter it you can still get a whiff of that like smell of hairdressers, which you might think like, oh, this is not making me want to get coffee, but it smells very clean and nice. And clean and nice is also the feeling that you get from the whole like interior design they have going on. Actually, I think that this coffee shop looks very different from many other Edinburgh coffee shops. To me, it really reminded me of like Seoul, you know, Korea, or like Tokyo, Japan style coffee shops. So they do many types of both hot and cold beverages. Pretty affordable prices for the city center, and they also have a nice menu of like bagels and toasties and brunchy things like granola. The only thing I think they're missing from what I've seen in their menu is they don't seem to have any vegan options. They do have a bunch of like bakes, but I think that those are probably all butter-based, so again, not very vegan friendly. But overall, I would recommend it for that chill atmosphere. Also quite a lot of seating space. It is definitely much bigger on the inside than what it looks like from the outside, so give it a try. And once you are well caffeinated, you can go on a bit of a walk, on a bit of a trek down Leith Walk. I think that's any of the businesses on Leith Walk right now will really appreciate if you visit them, because, you know, the tram works, they are really keeping local businesses from getting enough footfall. But what I wanted to talk about before I got distracted by all the great coffee shops and bakeries is Tartan Blanket Co now opened their actual shop. It's actually placed in their kind of office like workspace. They basically took like a third of it and made it into this showroom. This is a great brand to buy from if you're looking for gifts from Edinburgh, either, you know, like if you live here and you're looking for nice, thoughtful gifts for your family, or if you're visiting and you just want to bring a souvenir home for, you know, the cooler months. And you might be thinking, these seem a bit pricey. I've seen cheaper ones in souvenir shops, but the problem is when you get a tartan blanket from a souvenir shop, I don't think you can really rely on like the ethical side of things. While Tartan Blanket Company does actually have really close ties with all their woolen mills and all the workers there, and you know that they are treated well. Another thing that I really like about them is that apart from the traditional patterns they have, they put a lot of like creative thought into the other patterns you can get. Usually they are seasonal, so like if you see something that looks quite funky and quite unusual and you really like it, get it straight away because it might not be around next year. So yeah, keep an eye out for all of their collaborations with artists, and if you're going down to Leith, definitely stop by their shop. And now we're moving further into the west. Our first stop is going to be Artisan pasta maker, which you might have heard about before because they are already a foodie institution at the Stockbridge Farmers Market. But now, after all these years of existing in that tenty kiosky little spot, they now have an actual store, which you can use both as a pickup of fresh pasta that you can bring home and have, you know, any way you like, either just with olive oil, or they recommended to me to make it with sage butter. I tried, but I couldn't find sage anywhere. I think that for that you have to go to like some sort of like witchcraft shop these days. It seems like most of sage gets used that way, not with artisanal pasta. But yeah, that is their pro tip. You can also sit down at their place. They do have a couple of tables inside. There's a great selection of filled pasta, but they also have non-filled pasta and also nice handmade gnocchi, which I definitely need to try next time. It all looks delicious and it's quite affordable. Our selection, which was basically like 2 of each of the filled ones, so 10 parcels in total, was I think about £7, which yeah, is like double the price of what you would be paying if you were getting prepared ones from the supermarket, but I think it's worth it. The flavors are very nice and clean. If you like the taste of ricotta, I think that was one of the strongest and yet mildest flavors, but like this is like the pasta parcel in which you will actually taste the ricotta. It's nice and gentle and beautiful. You should definitely visit if you're a pasta fiend or a pasta friend. And next on our list is another coffee shop. It's called Fauna. They have opened late spring this year, and they are kind of, when you're entering West End, I think it's Queensferry Road, they make very nice coffee. All the reviews for their coffee are stellar. People who really understand coffee will tell you that this is great coffee. I am kind of a chaotic good coffee person. I like most coffee. I can see upsides of pretty much any coffee I am given because I am mostly in it for the caffeine. So yeah, they do coffees, they do pastries, they have some cute looking teas, and they have an amazing mural on the wall, which I think looks like it would make the prettiest tattoo. And so, to finish this video off, we have two places where you can go get some drinks with friends and some sharing plates or some pub food even. And conveniently, they are both placed kind of around our neighborhood. First one is called a Wee Taste. I think that it used to be a Wee Taste of Edinburgh, and it used to be a food tour, and now it's an actual brick and mortar place. It was started by Carly, who used to be a teacher, and then she started her food tours, but obviously during the pandemic it was kind of hard to continue with those. So finally, now that things are kind of coming back to normal, knock on wood, she managed to open her first proper restaurant-y place. Now, I think this is a place that offers something that you can't get anywhere else in Edinburgh, at least not in like a sit-down space. Usually you can get grazing boards in like, you know, like a corporate events, but not really with your friends. And this place is just the cutest little location to sit down with a couple of buds and have beautiful drinks and these wonderful charcuterie and cheese boards. If you ask Carly, she's gonna walk you through all of those beautiful cheeses and meats. And also they started doing a brunch platter now, which is kind of like, imagine the most beautiful platter you would try to put together at an all-inclusive breakfast in a resort in Bali, but she makes it look much better than you would. So yeah, a great place to visit with friends. And the very last thing on our list is a pub, which is not usually something we do, and I've heard from a lot of you that you would like to see us go to more pubs. It's just like, pub is usually not kind of the culture that I go for, but this pub is really cute. It's right outside of Haymarket. It's actually one of the oldest pubs in Edinburgh, and it has been closed for the longest time and just reopened kind of late this spring, and it's a great place to get some little picky bits. They do have these little, like, I would say like smaller sharing plates. You can get 3 for £13, or they have like larger meals, like your usual pub fare, you know, your pies, your fish and chips, and a great selection of beer. They did have one in spring that was called You Shall Not Pass, and it was a New Zealand Pale Ale, which I wish they still had. I would definitely go for that one. Let me know in the comments below which one of these places you would visit the first, which one is the most right up your alley. Don't forget, you can visit me on Instagram, on Kakibot and Kakiblog, and also on TikTok, also on Kakibot. And you can also support my wannabe livelihood in this windy city by buying something from my Etsy shop, which is going to be linked in the doobly-doo. Alrighty, so I need to eat something because it's getting colder and windier and I'm hungry. I shall see you soon. Bye bye.